This is going to be your weekly twin flame soulmate relationship tarot reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies between you and your person. So, in the comments, please let me know your zodiac signs and your word of the day. Well, I've got Karma over here watching us. Her zodiac sign, I believe, is Leo. Not 100% sure, but I know she was born sometime at the end of July. So, we're going to assign her the Leo characteristics. So the energy right now, I think, is a lot lighter than it was during the eclipse energy. I feel like things have gotten a little bit better. So again, I'm curious to know in the comments how you're feeling. I do think that there's been a lot of lovey vibes in the air these past few days. A lot of the readings that I've been posting feel quite romantic. So I am very curious to see what the vibes are going to be for this reading today. So let's get some overall themes and messages. And we have here, be the real you. I love this. Be your authentic self. I feel like I've said this to a lot of people recently, actually. This card says freedom, authenticity, uniqueness, and courage. Okay, let me see if I can put this card here in front of Karma. Okay, let's take a look at what else we need to know. And we have time to go. You know what I think this is in general is time to let go of the old story, the old energy, be more authentic. We don't want to be in fear anymore. We want to be in new energy. Okay, let's take a look at this deck here. And we have avoidance and stalemate. I think something has felt stuck for quite a while, and maybe even avoiding making a move or making a change. But this is telling you that it's time to let go of that old story and to just be authentic. Now, obviously, this could be for you, for your person, for both of you, but essentially, there's a vibe here that says it's time to be in new energy. I'm very reminded of Pluto and Aquarius overall because that's about authenticity. That Pluto and Capricorn that we were in for the last 20 years or so was much different. The focus was much different. That's why you can see the shift in the world in regards to celebrity and why things are sort of changing or crumbling. Now we're finding that being your authentic self is really key to success. And so, with that, let's take one more. This is alone time. Spend some time alone. It will help you gain clarity on your relationship. Okay, so how about this? If things have been feeling a little bit stuck or a bit stagnant, maybe it's time to evaluate where things are at. What are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish in regards to love and relationships? Are your needs being met? So let's take a look at the tarot. What we're going to do is look at what's going on in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energy. And of course, feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. I'd also like to make the recommendation that you watch till the very end. Something that I notice about my readings is that it may start one way and then it kind of morphs into another, by the end. There's a whole story to this, right? There's a whole set of information that comes from all these different angles. So have an open mind. If you saw these cards and you said, oh my goodness, that doesn't sound good, understand that there's always different sides to an energy and things that can actually be hidden blessings. So let's take a look at your headspace. And we have here justice, equal giving and receiving, and balance. Okay, do you feel balanced in your day to day or in your connection? The Fool is saying trust and take a leap of faith. And that's why this energy here says time to go. Interesting. Okay, let's go to the other deck here and see what else we need to know. And we have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is this conflict. It could be external with other people. It could be internal. Should I? Shouldn't I? Can I have this? Can I really have this? What do I do with this? Maybe that's the stalemate. I don't know what to do. Let's see what else. There's the World, completion of a cycle. See, time to go. And that doesn't necessarily mean like leaving the relationship, by the way, or the connection. It means it's time to go to another level, right? We have to complete a cycle in order to go to the next level. And so let's take a look at what's going on in your heart space. The Three of Cups, you need more fun and more joy in your life. Now, sometimes when I see this card, I think of two's company, three's a crowd. Where could there be some interference possibly in your connection or in your energy? And there's the Hanged Man energy, feeling like there's this sort of neither nor or a bit of limbo. I will say this, I think that we're still in a bit of a void where, you know, we're not in the old anymore and we're not in the new. We're embarking on the new. I think we're in the process of starting something new, but I don't know if we're totally there yet. I mean, we're always a work in progress, right? Being our authentic self means that we have to take the steps, and it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to repeat myself because I've been saying it, I feel like all week. It has taken me really like 8 to 10 years to get to where I'm at right now. And it's because I've been putting myself out there. I've been working on things that resurface, every day of my life. There's something that's testing me, and that's common. That's normal for everybody. So don't be discouraged if you feel like you're supposed to be further ahead. It just takes time in order to get to where you need to be. And let's see what else we need to know for your person's heart space. See, the Four of Swords is all about healing, rest, and rejuvenation. And with that, we have here the Seven of Swords, authenticity. There's definitely a theme here of being authentic and not being afraid to go to the next level or to avoid love. You know, it's interesting. I mentioned the void, and here's avoidance. It's almost like I want to say a void, not as in the word avoid, one word. I'm thinking two words, avoid. Like there is a void happening right now. We're in between worlds almost, if that makes sense. How many of you feel that way? I'm very curious to know. So let's see the overall theme and message. And we have here the Knight of Cups. See, this is my point. It's about opening your heart to love, to the next level, to the King of Wands here, beautiful, which is all about purpose and passion and nurturing the energy. I know it feels like a quick energy because fire is fast, right? But at the same time, you nurture a fire, you build a fire, right? Underlying energy is the Three of Wands. It's almost like we're sitting on the sidelines saying, I'll do it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. I want to remind you, you're never ready, right? You're never ready until you're kind of pushed into that moment. And here we have the moon. It's very interesting. I feel that these vibes are coming from the full moon in Libra. And I believe that is on April 12th. We are doing the full moon Zoom on Friday, April 11th. Interesting, it's the 411. We're going to get the information on the full moon on April 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern. The cost is $22. Included in that evening is a 2-hour general collective reading where we get to talk about all these topics affecting our relationships and energies, and also a mini personalized moon reading that comes to you by the next new moon. And so full moons are all about purging, surrendering, letting go, right? So that we can go to the next level. But the Libra full moon, I do think it's a nice moon. I don't think it seems very complicated. At the same time, it's about relationships. Libra's all about partnerships. There's the Justice card right there. There is the Libra energy. So I really do believe that we are discussing partnerships in the next few days for sure. Okay, let's look at the after tarot. This is the energies that we can expect, the path, I guess you could say. So in your headspace, we have here the Emperor making a power move. Now, this is my whole point. This is why I say keep watching, because the Emperor is someone who doesn't play around. This is someone who's here to play chess, not checkers. Now, in matters of love, when the Emperor comes in, they're serious. You'll know when the Emperor is serious. That's Aries energy. I kind of feel the vibe of the axis between Aries and Libra, or Libra and Aries, I should say. Keep in mind that we just had a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Now it's the full moon in Libra. We also just finished a 2-year cycle approximately of the North Node being in Aries, South Node in Libra. And so all of those energies are kind of lingering around, And with this, we have here the Two of Cups, partnerships, love. Love on the Brain. Thinking about the song by Rihanna. Okay. In your person's headspace, there's the King of Cups. This is somebody who's now in tune with their emotions. I love that. And the Page of Cups, open to a brand new emotional beginning and even communicating that emotional beginning. Anything is possible. Riding the wave, going with the flow, seeing where it takes us. Trust the process. I know that those things are so difficult to do, but you have to start somewhere. You have to take some baby steps before you can fully be in that new energy. All it takes is just one step, right? In your heart space, there's the Six of Cups, which is a wish coming true in this context. Six of Cups can also be childhood wounds, dealing with some old wounds. So it could very well be that you are coming out of a bit of this void energy or neither nor, where you've tried to get some clarity and maybe something has come through to help you move out of those wounds. And with that, we have here the Strength card. Exactly. Finding the strength and the courage to come out of isolation. Now, on this side here, I can see the major arcanas coming through, right? Because we had the Fool, the Emperor, Justice, Strength. Were there any others that I missed? Yeah, the Hangman, right? The Moon. These major arcanas mean these are major themes. In your person's heart space, there is the Five of Wands. But look at, see, this is my point about the beginning of the reading. We had the Five of Wands, which is conflict and back and forth. And then look at this. There's no more conflict, working through it. So 5-5 means big changes ahead. Interesting. And with that, we have the Chariot. Hand on the heart. I say it every time I see this card. It's beautiful because it means moving forward and it's success and it's victory. And again, maybe that Hangman energy goes back to that alone time card. I meant to mention that earlier, that sometimes you need to gather your thoughts or pause to gain some clarity, whether that's you or whether that's your person. Interesting. Okay, overall, the Hierophant, commitment, taking the methodical steps. Death and rebirth, total transformation and change. Look how beautiful this is turning out. Again, my point. And look at these major arcana coming through. Queen of Pentacles. This offer coming to the Queen of Pentacles. This rabbit here is all about brand new beginnings and fertility. Lovely. And there is the Nine of Cups. Feasting, indulging. All that hard work has brought this abundance and manifestation. Wow. Okay, let's take a last bit of guidance here. And I felt very drawn to these cards. I haven't used them for a little while. So we'll take one for each side. Mountain. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. It's interesting. Mountains can be seen as obstacles, but they can also be seen as achievements. And I think what we were talking about here was basically having a bit of a mountain, being in a void. And therefore, we're getting to the top of the mountain as an achievement where we can be authentic, right? And on your person's side over here, we have, proposal. I hope you're here to the end. As I said, stick around to the end. It'll never disappoint you. The proposal card, a romantic or business opportunity is indicated. Look at these beautiful rings. Again, evaluating where things are at and going towards what is best. Ask for what you want or better. I really hope this resonates with you. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in the description box below. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.